Tell us how the weekend went for you, man. You're back.
It's been a hard 6 months for me. It's been a really hard 6 months for me. I wasn't sure if I was going to continue to wrestle. Every day is, trying to battle back from my experience at Penn State, from their fans, from their coaches, their wrestlers, being discarded and feeling like an outcast in a sport that I helped build. It's been hard. It's been hard. So this is very satisfying for me. This is very satisfying.
How much do these little ones like this help you?
I got a lot to fight for. A lot of people who count on me and rely upon me, not only to win, but to be at my best. Show them that you can persevere and be resilient in any circumstance. This isn't the team I planned on making when I started this year. I wanted to be an Olympian in Paris, and I found myself on the call in Connecticut. So a much different experience than I would have hoped for. But this is a testament to, God's grace, but also I've got a great team of people around me. My coaching staff, they didn't give up on me. They stayed in it with me, even when I was unsure. When I wasn't sure if I was going to wrestle. I wasn't sure if I wanted to continue to do this. I was mad at the wrestling community and angry with wrestling itself, and I just wanted to walk away and be just with my family and with the people who truly cared about me.
Was it special to come back here to Nebraska to do this?
Yeah, absolutely. When they said that this was going to be hosted in Omaha, that was an extra incentive for me. And so at the time, I was still wavering between making an official decision and not. I saw you in August when we were broadcasting the Olympics together, and I still was unsure. But I just remained diligent with my work habits throughout the summer. So even when I hated wrestling and hate the way that I was treated, love you guys. What I focused on was the fact that if I stayed diligent in my habits, I would be able to make a conscious decision on whether I wanted to wrestle or not. But if I didn't show up and I didn't train, that my body was going to make a decision for me. And the old adage goes, if you don't use it, you lose it. Well, when you're 36 years old with 5 kids at home, it's easy to lose it. So I just continued to show up to practice, and there were a lot of days where if you would have come in and saw me and knowing who I am and what I represent, you would have been surprised at my lack of effort, my lack of zeal, my lack of excitement for being in the wrestling room, doing something that I love. But it took me a long time to fall in love with this sport again. And it took a lot of outside external circumstances, but ultimately it took a lot of introspective thinking as to how do I want to stamp my career. Penn State and everyone in that arena in State College, they thought that they killed me. They couldn't. Too resilient.
That scoring sequence at the end, the flurry, give a chance. A lot of shades of Final X 2023. Can you walk us through what you were thinking and how you came on top?
For sure. Well, I knew exactly what he was going for. I knew he had a tight head pinch, and he was waiting for me to either lower him down to the mat so he could get his feet planted and try to send me, or for me to relinquish his legs so he could get his hips back and sprawl on the top of my head. So just in that position, I knew that I had the better beat. I got to the legs before he got to the head. And I knew that if I continued to drive and elevate, much like what happened in Final X, had what happened in 2023 happened in the center of the mat, I likely would have gotten 4 points for it. It would have probably been a 4-2 exchange. So I just knew, as soon as he planted on his back, I knew I had 4. I didn't want to go through on the roll, but I knew with a 4-point sequence there that he was going to have to score 3 additional points. He was going to need a big sequence in order for him to win the match. And I knew there was short time left, and my conditioning is high level. This was a unique training phase for me. I really only put in a really hard, solid 6 to 7 weeks of training. and I felt good. It's different. It's 74. I'll never wrestle 163 pounds ever again. I don't know. I don't know what my future looks like. If I go out and medal in Albania and I'm already in Final X, who knows? I may keep going. I'm unsure what the future holds.
Who's training with you right now?
Joey McKenna. Joey McKenna will be my training partner at the World Championships.
So, Jordan, a couple of weeks from now, you're going to be wrestling again at another World Championships, facing all those international athletes. Many you know, many you don't, because they're so young, right? How excited are you for that opportunity to step back out there, the thing you've worked for the last couple of years and you haven't been able to do?
Yeah, I lost my love for wrestling for a while. After 2022, achieving a career-long goal of being the winningest American ever. Coming back in 2023, I didn't really compete. I didn't compete at all. I wrestled in one Pan Am Championship in May and then wrestled in June against a guy who was hungry. In 2024, had to make the weight cut all the way down to 74 kilos. It's extremely difficult. My body really couldn't hold up. Couldn't compete the way that I wanted. And then after this year is, trying to figure out what's next for me. It's hard. It's hard being in this role. I am an ambassador for the sport, and I'm a person that people rely upon heavily in every facet of the sport. And that's what bothered me the most. But I'm no longer angry. I feel a heart of gratitude. I'm thankful. I've kind of shied away from the media for a long time, and this is where I belong, right? Being open, being transparent, being vulnerable, but also competing at an elite level.
Well, we're looking forward to seeing you in a few weeks, man.
Thank you. I can't wait.
There's some more legacy, right?
Yeah. No one ever was thinking about number 8, but here we go. Let's try again.
Being back in Nebraska, you touched on this for a second earlier. In Omaha, I think you used to go to church in Omaha.
Yeah, that's right.
Husker trainers giving you a hug, Tyler. You got Travell in your corner. What's this whole experience been like, especially after kind of the opposite of that at the Olympic trials?
Well, I spent 2 weeks of the last month here in Lincoln. So I came to the wrestling room in Lincoln. I wanted to be back with the people that I love. If you don't beat David in the first match, you got no chance. You got no chance. So I was here for the last 2 weeks, and I really felt comfortable with the training and with the leadership and the guidance, and things fell into place for me.
Even had Travell in your corner.
And I had Travell. That's my guy.
Thanks, Jordan.
Thank you, guys.
I'm going to get Macy in here and David.
Well done.
Thanks, bro.
Proud of you, brother.